Hello students. So we are learning the first unit of operating system. After different types of operating system, we have learned resident monitor and input output interrupt. So in this unit we are learning the internal mechanism of the operating system, so that day by day the operating system are going on developing for flexibility use, for reliable to use of the computer system by several users. So today we will learn a new concept of operating system unit 1, that is direct memory access. That is direct memory access, or DMA, direct memory. So memory access means we are accessing data, we are extracting data, storing data into the memory. That is memory access. So this operation is done directly. So, means accessing information or storing information into memory, there must be directly. Okay. So what happens if you are not indirectly? Means there is a CPU. Just imagine, input operation will be performed by the input device, and there is a CPU. Just imagine, input output devices stores information in memory via CPU, and it extracts informations from memory via this CPU. So there is a CPU. Actually, memory also resides inside the CPU, but external user or input device or output device are performed through this CPU. So inside the CPU there is another component in memory. Okay. So just think, CPU, inside the CPU there is a memory. So our aim is the user has to store some information into the memory, but this thing cannot be directly done through the CPU. Okay, then the CPU controls all the things. So this direct memory, where I perform direct memory access, we require another component that helps to CPU. Okay, so all operations are controlled by the CPU. Okay, but if the CPU controls everything, so on behalf of a CPU, there is a direct memory access controller. A controller will be used. Okay, so it reduces the overall CPU overhead. Okay. This is the concept of direct memory access mechanism. So let us explain it in more. So this is a method. It is a method. First thing, it is a method. It is a method, or it is a process that allows an input, that allows an input or output. Okay, either input or output device. So this device, this direct memory access mechanism, this mechanism allows input output device to send information or to receive information, to send or receive, okay, data or information directly. Okay, directly to or from the main memory. To or from the main memory. To or from the main memory by passing the CPU. This is the concept. Okay, by passing the CPU to speed up the memory operation. So let us explain. So it is a method, it is a process that allows input devices or output devices. Okay, input device means it receives data, it want to store data into the memory. And output device that want to receive information from memory. So input device, output device. Input device send information. Okay, input device send information and output device receive information. Input device send information to main memory. Okay, to or from the main memory. So input devices send information directly to main memory and output device receive information data directly from main memory. This is the concept. By using this direct memory access, that means input device can send data directly to the main memory and output device can receive data directly from main memory. This is the concept. Okay, this is the direct memory access concept. So what happens? Suppose there is a CPU. Suppose this is CPU. It is a CPU and this is input output. All input output. And this is the main memory. Okay. So this input output device want to send or want to receive data from main memory. But directly you cannot. This type of operation cannot be directly performed. So it will send request from CPU. Okay, this send request from CPU and CPU from CPU to main memory. Normally what happens? So input device sends information to the CPU. Then CPU controls the main memory and it sends information to the main memory for storage. While output operation, so output device receives or sends requests, or this memory sends information to the CPU, then CPU sends to the output device for output operation. So in this way normally we are performing. But if you do follow all this process, the CPU overhead will be increased. It will be more pressurized. So to relax this CPU, we want to apply this direct memory access mechanism so that directly we can access from the main memory. There is a CPU controller, sorry, DMA controller that will act on behalf of CPU. Okay, CPU will be more relaxed, so CPU overhead will be less. So just imagine there is a two cycle. There is a two cycle by normally we are performing. Okay, two cycle to transfer some data or information from input device to main memory. First cycle IO to CPU. Okay, IO to CPU. First cycle IO to CPU. Okay, then input device first sends to CPU, then CPU sends to main memory, then CPU to main memory. These two cycles. Normally, whenever we are not using DMA controller, but in case of DMA, what happens? There is a on the help of this DMA, we can directly connect, directly store, directly access this input or output device to main memory. Means by using direct memory access controller, there is one cycle. There will be one cycle. That's the IO. That's the IO to main memory. Clear? IO to main memory. So number of cycle reduce by using this DMA controller. Okay. So this process is managed by the help of a chip known as DMA controller. So this DMA controller is nothing but the DMA. It is a chip, that is DMA, direct memory access controller. So directly, whenever we want to directly access from the main memory, we want to another device, that is DMA controller. It is just like a memory, just like a chip. Okay. So that relaxes the CPU, means it reduces the CPU overhead. Okay. Now this DMA-C will study the DMA-C. This is the declared one. This is the now we will use the DMA controller, and it reduces the cycle. So in this way, this DMA controller that will be used in the DMA mechanism, so it reduces the number of cycle, and also it reduces the CPU overhead. The DMA controller will be working on behalf of CPU. Through this DMA controller, we can directly store our input device, directly store to the main memory, and output device directly access from the main memory. Okay. So this is a chip, that is a DMA controller. Now we will study how this DMA controller is working. Okay. Now see the DMA controller. DMA normally it is a chip. It is a chip. Clear? So this DMA controller is a chip. It is used by graphics cards, disk drive controller, network cards, graphic cards. This is normally chip. Whenever a system one is connected with a network system, also it requires a network card. That is also chip. Okay. So this DMA controller is working like this. Okay. So it allows hardware system to use different graphic cards and disk drive controllers and network card also, and also sound cards. It supports. It allows, this DMA controller allows many hardwares, okay, to be operated. So it is supposed to many hardware for its smooth operation. Okay. So DMA controller is just like a chip. It allows many hardwares to smooth function of its function. It allows to network card, it is sound card, or graphics card, or disk drive controllers. Okay, so it is a intra-chip transfer of data in a multi-core processor. So as it is a chip, so intra-chip means within chip, inside the chip, there is some required for data to be transformed, means signal to be transferred from one point to another point. So there is it is supports intra chip, okay, intra chip transformation. Okay. So this DMA controller is a chip. or intra-chip transmission. Means within the chip, the data can be transformed from one point to another point. Okay. So DMA channel can transfer data to and from device such less overhead. That leads to less overhead to the CPU. Okay. The less overhead due to this DMA, this DMA controller, the CPU overhead will be reduced. Okay. Now we'll see the working process. Okay, the CPU, the DMA controller working process. Now see the working process of this DMA controller. How it is performing its job actually. DMA working process. Okay, so till now we know this DMA controller is working on behalf of CPU. So this DMA working process it uses the DMA controller on behalf of CPU. Okay, you think this is the input output device. This is the input output device, and this is the memory. This is the memory, and also there is a CPU. Okay. So to directly access CPU, it requires a DMA controller. Suppose this is DMA controller. I am writing here. Controller. So input output device connect memory via DMA controller, and this DMA controller is being controlled by the CPU also. Okay, just watch the complete diagram. First DMA, okay, this is this to also CPU sends to DMA controller. Okay, then DMA controller to memory. Okay, and also there is a direct communication also. Let's see. So first input output device wants to send data to memory. This want to send data to memory. Okay, this input output device has to send DMA request. Send the DMA request. This is the DMA request. This is the DMA request to the DMA controller, and again this DMA controller sends the HLQ, that is hold request. This is the hold request, HLQ. This is the hold request. This is ready state, HLQ. Then from CPU it sends the HLDA, means acknowledgement. Okay, this is the HLDA, hold acknowledgement. Sends the hold acknowledgement. Okay, then it will DMA controller. Then so now this can be directly. Okay, if you think first IO sends DMA request to the DMA controller. DMA controller sends the DLQ, the hold to the CPU. CPU sends the acknowledgement, and this again sends the memory. Okay, this is the bus. This is the bus through the cable or system bus. These are the system bus. It uses system bus. It uses the system bus. Okay. So normally CPU is working as a master. The CPU has worked as a master. It controls the DMA. But in case of here, now this DMA controller becomes the master. It becomes the master, and this CPU now becomes the slave. Means it manages all the things. Okay, DMAC the master, and the CPU now becomes the slave. When this DMAC decides, it manages everything. Also, there is a interlink. It sends the whole request, and again CPU sends the whole acknowledgement. After receiving the acknowledgement, then only all operation will be performed. So, by the help of this DMAC, the input-output device is directly connected to the memory. This memory and input-output devices can be directly interconnected. So, communication will be directly. So, directly input device can store memory, and directly from memory it can receive the output device. Output device can receive directly from the, this main memory by help of this DMAC controller. DMA controller. Okay. So CPU is in a hold state, and DMA controller has to manage all operations over the system bus. So these operations in the system bus. Okay. So this is all about the working process of this DMA. Now you think the advantage. As I have told you, basic three advantages is there. By default, as we are using this DMAC controller, so the overhead of CPU is become reduced. Okay, so first thing, less CPU overhead. First point, less CPU overhead. CPU overhead will be reduced, and CPU cycle is also reduced. Number of cycle, CPU cycle reduced is also reduced. Reduced CPU cycle. Okay, CPU cycle will be reduced and the CPU overhead will be reduced. And data transfer rate is higher. Higher data transfer rate. Higher data transfer rate. Okay, because there is a special program, special chip which control all these operations. If it will perform at the CPU function it controls many things. But there is a special DMA controller that only this device, this card, this chip is only performing this input-output operations. So obviously data transfer rate will be higher. Okay, so this is the advantage. Also there are some disadvantages. So what is the disadvantage? It is expensive. First thing, it is expensive because this DMAC is required. This device, this extra device is also required. So it is expensive. To carry out the operations, the DMA controller is required. Another thing is synchronization mechanism is must. It requires synchronization mechanism. Synchronization mechanism is required because it provides always updated values. To get always updated value, it requires the synchronization process. Okay, so this synchronization process must be provided in order to avoid accessing non-updated information from RAM. Means it provides always the updated value due to synchronization. So it provides always updated value, accurate value, constant value due to this synchronization process is also required. So it will become the limitations. So in this way we can explain the DMA controller that helps to CPU and also it reduces the CPU overhead, and in this way it is performed. Watch this video today. This is the most important concept. The description for this video will be sent to you on your group, follow. If you doubt, you can ask me. Okay, this was for today. Thank you all.